How's it going?
It's going amazing.
Can we start with your name and where you're from?
My name is Karambir Singh, and I am from LA, Los Angeles, City of Angels.
Hey, can you tell me one of your best stories of your life?
Sure. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I was really lost in the outer world, and I wasn't feeling fulfilled anymore. And I just kept on trying to reach out of myself more and more and more and more. I just kept on feeling more empty and just that nothing was working out anymore, and I was just feeling a sense of just hopelessness. So I would come from South Pasadena, where my family lives, and I would get on the bus, and it was about a 2-hour ride without the subway, just on the regular bus route. And I would get on the bus and I would come to Hollywood just because I loved being around the city and all the people and all the movies and I love movies and I'm a movie buff, so I would relate to the energy that I was around. So I'd come to Hollywood and I would just chill out, and I'd go to Starbucks, or I'd go to Coffee Bean, or I'd go to Barnes and Noble, or I'd just do things just to keep myself occupied. And I was walking by the arc light, and all of a sudden I hear chanting, and it drew me to the location of where this chanting was, and I couldn't right place where this was, and I just felt this urge in me to go and see what this was. So I start walking, and I'm at Cahuenga and Sunset, and I make my way down towards Sunset and Ivar, and then I kind of pinpoint where this was coming from, this singing, and I walk in, and it's a yoga studio. And right when I walked in, I just felt this presence that I had never felt before. And I just started to feel and take in the environment, and I was just very captivated by what I heard. And I looked at their menu and I picked it up, and I'm like, this looks interesting. I started looking at the prices and whatnot, and I just felt a lot of love, a lot of peace in the establishment. So then I look at the menu and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check this out. And I leave. And then a couple of weeks passed by, and again, I kind of like got distracted with the world and outside, and I just start to do the same thing that I was doing, and here I go again. I'm gonna go and check out this place. I want to go take a class. So I get there, and it's closed, sealed, closed, nothing. It was like ghost town. And I was like, oh man, that sucks. So I look at the menu and I'm like, okay. So I just keep walking, and I don't know what it was, and I just kept walking and walking and walking, and they had only moved 4 blocks down. And what happens? I hit the place where it had moved without knowing any address, any information. I didn't have a cell phone back then. And so I was so in awe that I found the place, first of all. Second, that how all this started to play out, and I just started to get very curious. Why is this happening to me? There's something very mysterious that I was very captivated by. So I go in, and I take my first yoga class. That changed my life forever. And I tapped into a part of my soul, my spirit, that I had never ever felt before. And after that class, things just started to happen in my life that you could call miraculous, or that you could call coincidences, or that you could call synchronicities. All that I know is that my life started to change, not in little ways, but in huge ways. And I started to see my path just do this. So instead of it being like this, I just started to do this. And all these people, places, and things started to serve what I needed as I started to go through my path. And of course, right when you are about to start your consciously spiritual journey, then you get challenged. So I started getting challenged by my family. What are you doing? That's crazy, and you're not a yogi, and all this stuff started happening. And because I was so into my classes, I just stayed quiet and I just kept this rhythm. So I jump on the bus all the way from South Pasadena all the way to Hollywood. And I didn't realize how dedicated I was until now when I look back at how dedicated I was. 2 hours every day. I was getting paid. I wasn't getting any money. I wasn't getting anything back other than just fulfillment inside my soul. And so then I hit rock bottom. And I saw before me all the shit that I had in my life that was not serving me. And then I had here on the side this piece of gold, my yoga path, my meditations. All this that I thought I needed, it just started to disappear, and I started to not care about all this stuff. But I cared about this, and I don't know what it was. I just kept going to class every day. Sometimes I would take 3 classes in a day. So of course I lost my job. I lost all this stuff that wasn't serving this. Everything just started falling away, and I was like, "Oh my fucking God! Like what's going on? I thought my life was supposed to get better." So then this voice said, "No, before things get better, things need to get worse, because that's how they get better. And the getting worse part is you're gonna lose everything that you don't need, that's not serving your soul. But then you're gonna start to get all these things that are gonna serve your soul and everybody else." So then I move into my parents' house, and my mother had just gotten remarried. So I wasn't raised by a father. Since I was 5, my mother and father got divorced. So I was able to experience what it was to have a mother and a father. He crossed over already, so that's why I'm getting emotional. But I feel so much love and appreciation, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I just feel all this love right now. So they kept me there at their house for 2 years while I went through this massive transformation. And this is 10 years ago. And I never forget the day where they said, "We're here for you, and we see what you're doing. We don't understand it, but we see how you stopped drinking. You stopped hanging out with the people that were just not real friends." And they just saw what I couldn't see, because they were seeing life from another point of view than I was. I was experiencing my life, but they were spectating. They were kind of the audience of my transformation. So they saw me die, a part of me. They saw me go into a chrysalis, and then they saw this butterfly being born. And they saw it from their point of view. So they just supported me. And then about 2 years into that, I met my lover, and we moved out, which was all divine order. And then I stopped doing yoga, and I go into the goddess. And I go into my dark. I go into my shadow. I go into all the parts of me that I judged, that society judged. I went into the part of me that I was afraid of, that I had never, ever, ever tapped into. I went to the feminine in me. I went into the parts that are where there's chaos, where there's destruction, where there's just transformation where there's just all kinds of just icky, gooey, but so rich, such richness there. Think of it like a tree that has roots. I went into the roots, the depth of my soul that I had never ever tapped or been in before, let alone like consciously like what the hell is this? So I do a year of goddess energy work, and I went into all this, and I was with my lover. So I was in a really, really healthy relationship, full of love and commitment, and just this magic was happening. This deep transformation was happening that I could write a book just on that 1 year. And so we broke up because it was time for me to come back into yoga, but I had to, in order for you to go up higher, you need to go deeper. So like a tree, if you want to have bigger branches and a thicker trunk, you need to have deeper roots. So after having gone deep into my goddess with Scott, then I jumped back into my yoga, and I went so high that my tree not only grew in diameter, but my branches reached out to places I had never been, into the astral plane. And my depth, my roots were so strong that storms came and I was able to withstand. Kind of like a tornado comes and you see everything destroyed, but that one tree's just there. The leaves are gone, but the tree's still there. And you know, in the spring, which is on Friday, the leaves are going to come back. So I went back into yoga, and then I took my teacher training, and then I became a teacher. And going forward now, I have become this channel of pure consciousness, of love, of understanding. And I am not a man, I am not a woman, I am just a channel of love and pure consciousness. And I am here to serve myself and to serve humanity in the best way that I see fit and I feel intuitively in my gut. And I can write a book on what I have so much to share. And in a nutshell, I went through hell, I came through it, and I came out into my truth, into my satnam, into my path. And I just feel so much life coursing through my body, through my bones. And I have so much to share with people in my teachings that I've been gifted, in my Reiki healing that I know now because I somehow got the class for free, which is a miracle. And now I know how to do that. And I do hair as my art. I cut hair, I braid hair. So I have all these things now that I have, gifts that I have to share with the world. And so you can think of this going from hell to a victory of just heaven on earth. And now I see life on a whole different level, from a whole different perspective. And I am just, I feel so blessed and honored that I now can share this with the world in whatever way, whether it's a little small glance at someone and just bless them, and I walk by and I'll never see them again, and they'll never see me again. Or somebody that says, can I have a meditation? Or somebody says, can you please do a Reiki session on me? Or somebody says, can you read my cards and do some tarot? Or can you do my hair? I want a color, I don't feel good, like I want my hair, I want a new color. Like I have all these gifts now that I've mastered through my yoga practice, through my goddess practice, and I have brought it all together, and I have brought the feminine and the masculine in me to my wholeness. And now I'm on this full-fledged eagle hawk, whatever you want to call it, if you want to give it a name, that just takes away from it. And I just feel so honored that I get to share this experience with whoever's watching, and that I hope that you, whoever it is, find your path, fulfill your destiny, and as long as your heart is in what you're doing, you'll reach that destiny, you'll reach that point of fulfillment, because you're on the journey of your life, which is not about it's not about the point end, it's about the journey, about getting there every step, and all the people that you meet on that journey, all the people that you affect, all the people that you empower, whether it's somebody that becomes a hairstylist because of what you shared with them, or somebody becomes an artist, or somebody becomes a photographer, or somebody becomes a doctor, or somebody becomes a holistic healer, or somebody becomes a veterinarian, or somebody becomes a husband or a wife, a mother or a father. Whatever it is that you're here to do, follow your heart, because that's where the answers are, and let your heart be the master and your mind be the servant of your journey, because it's amazing.